Welcome back to the Lovin Dubai show. This is the interview we need. Here to give us a crash course on Insurance 101, why Hala Insurance has the ultimate no blah blah approach, and the lowdown on what we think is hands down one of the best ads this year. We have Walid Dib, the CEO and co-founder at Hala Insurance. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for hosting me, guys. Thank you for having me.
Not at all.
Welcome. So, Hala Car Insurance, I have a bone to pick with you.
Let's go.
Okay, so
I'm ready.
it's messed up, honestly. So when I was young and I crashed my car, I didn't crash it, someone else crashed it. I didn't get the insurance because I was below 21. So tell us these rules. What are
There's way too many of these rules. So, for example, in some places or some insurance companies would unfortunately judge you based on nationality as well. And I think I wouldn't be surprised if people judge others based on gender. Really, what I'm trying to do here is make it based on how well you drive, because it just is logical to do so. It doesn't matter if you're Jordanian or German or French or Lebanese. So long as you drive well, you should be priced based on that. Now, if you crashed your car when you're 21, I'm just saying.
No, 20. It wasn't me who crashed.
So you didn't crash.
So someone else hit my car, but I didn't get the insurance because I was below 21 years of age. So is that one of those rules?
Even it could go up to 30 these days. So the insurance market is so competitive. They're becoming so risk averse, wherein if someone's below 25, they're considered bad risk. But the real reality, I'm not saying any loopholes here, but the reality is in the UAE, you insure the car, not the owner, right? So if your dad owns a Ferrari, he just insures it in his name, and then you are the driver. You're still just as reckless. So I think that's still a problem that needs to be fixed. It doesn't make sense that someone doesn't insure you because you're below 20.
So with Hala Insurance, the car is insured, and doesn't matter like
not
how
Hala,
bad
in
or good
the UAE
driver.
in general.
Okay.
The car is the one that's insured, not the individual. So
Okay.
that's pretty interesting. In the UK, it's different.
I reckon everyone watching right now has specific questions about insurance, so send them in. We're here. But what's really interesting is Hala Insurance in general. So it's you and your brother founded it, which to me, it's so cool to get the face behind the brand. So how did it start, and why did you guys start it?
Absolutely. So just a mild correction, there was a third person with us as well, Harsh Ajmera. So my brother and I had an argument in the kitchen a long time ago, about 4 years ago, about insurance. My background is insurance. My brother is not. I don't think anybody watching this, or even myself, nobody really studies to go into insurance. You just end up there, right? And you don't know how you ended up there. But we were thinking about how to fix it. We then went online and we met Harsh on the internet 4 years ago, and we said, "Listen, man, can you come to the UAE? We'll work together." And he became our CTO. Then from there, Hala progressed into, listen, insurance is really, really an unsexy proposition here. I mean, telcos put aside, banks put aside. This is the most. You don't look forward to pay your insurance. I don't think so. You don't wake up and go like, "Oh man, I can't wait to pay my insurance." And I'm not here to make it sexy. I'm here to make it convenient and life admin. I want to take out the blah blah from it. I want to remove all of the mess and just give your insurance peace of mind, Netflix for peace of mind if I can, and then you guys just, I'm going to outsource your words. I'm going to keep them with me.
Interesting. So, no blah blah there.
I mean, for us, the idea here is, if you have something that's so archaic in nature and so paper-based, and if you have an accident, you have to go to someone and file a claim and do a paper and do that. What we want to do is, if you have an accident, whether it's at 3 a.m. or at noontime, or if you're 21 or whenever, I want to be able to allow you to process the claim like this, and that's what we've done. So right now, if you file a claim online with Hala, you're auto-assigned a garage, you just go there. If it's below 3,000, it's auto-sorted. So there's a lot of the Dubai convenience elements in it, and that just straight up go into it. If you're standing in line in the RTA, you're waiting in line, tap, 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 you've got a policy. The entire idea here is to...
Oh, convenient.
Yeah, and also reduce your interaction with insurance as much as possible. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not like, nobody goes like, "Oh, I love it, it's so sexy." No, man, I just want to make it what it is. I want to take care of it. I want you to go back to your life, go back to the brunch in Maidan, do your thing. I don't want to have people focus too much on that. Leave the life admin to me.
But what I really like is you use the word archaic for other insurance brands, which is kind of what it is. You're so right. Like it's a bit boring, and it's something that you have to do. So you are making it fun, and how you've made it fun is with what people are calling the best Dubai ad of the year. We don't have that many cool ads, and you guys have done something really, really fun. I know Simran was blown away. I was blown away. but you went from archaic to aliens and Ferraris. Is a Ferrari a fancy
I think it was
supercar?
a Lambo.
A Lambo. The cars are not my thing.
Yeah.
But you went from archaic. Was that intentional to just kind of really just shock people with this like big ad?
That's such a good question. The cool thing is here, we wanted to show that you can go all the way to tap in seconds, and you still get people from the insurance industry going like, yeah, but I'm not sure that an alien invasion is covered. Dude, that's not the exact.
That's Lovin Dubai people for sure.
You're still in the same, and that angle that we're taking here. I mean, we're going to be launching a lot more content soon on. The terminology in insurance is so confusing, right? Like, your deductible is something, and then if you have an accident, you're going to get a loss of use car. Dude, it's just a rental car. You can just say that. It's okay. People need to know what's covered. So I don't know if you guys know what's covered in your insurance today. For example, maybe if you have an accident, you can get 7 days worth of a rental car or Uber credits. You might not even know that. It's in the fine print somewhere. With Hala, it's slapped in your face, We want to sort you out as soon as we can, and then don't worry about us. We're just here.
Okay, so that is one of the many reasons why people should choose Hala. So give us a few other reasons, like
Absolutely.
Convenient on your face, like all the fine prints are there, like in bold capital for people to see. So what other reasons?
So there's a lot of focus in the UAE on going digital, which I am, right? But at the same time, we're also human, meaning trust in insurance isn't really there today. That you don't really trust insurance brands to start with, and all we're trying to do is be as human and as available as frequently as needed. For example, my brother, again, it's not his job. If you're watching this, dude, you should not do that. But my brother, as COO, there was an accident where he actually picked up the phone at 3 a.m. and tried to deal with it himself. And it's things like that where you have the digitization and the metaverse and the automation of that, but you also have real humans in the background trying to talk to you. Whenever you have any question, like, listen, man, I don't get this thing. You guys give free airport pickup and drop off. How do I avail it? I go like, just go 1, 2, 3. This is all you need to do. You're sorted. Having that human being on the other side, I think, is what's needed. For example, if you look at the UK has at least 42 million people with some kind of insurance or another, home or rental or medical or whatever. The insurance penetration here is like 3%. And this is the highest in the Middle East.
What do you mean by insurance penetration just across the board?
The number of insurance policies per capita. I'm not going to turn this into a boring thing, but that's the exact that's the exact definition. Meaning, we're just very uninsured, right? And I think a large part of it comes from just not trusting the other side. Yeah, you don't trust. And a lot of the brands here, what they're trying to do is they're going like, yeah, I'm going to push a chatbot and I'm sure that's going to solve it. No, dude, it's real people trying to answer the questions that someone has, right? I don't think you want to talk to a chatbot when your credit card gets stolen. I'm not going to say any chatbot names here with any banks, but like, should I or should I not say?
We all know.
We know who I'm talking about.
We know.
Yeah, so with Hala, it's the opposite of that. I want to have the digital convenience, but it's not my main thing. My main thing is, you consider Zomato, I'm not doing an ad, but like delivery apps. You don't think of it as the digital way to get food. No, it's food at my doorstep when I have a party, right? Hala is a guy that's there for you when you have a car accident. That's what I want to be. A guy that's there for you when your home God forbid, catches on fire, or there's a water leakage, or your kid messed up stuff. So water leakages, dude, we cover them. Like all these things with home insurance, the people don't know that the cost of home insurance is as cheap as 200 and something dirhams. That's one of the brunches that people go to, right? And I can cover anything within the UAE and abroad. Of course, there is some fine print, but in general, the covers are immense.
This is amazing what you're trying to do, and we love it because you've sold me, by the way. Because you've made it easy, and like when I only became a driver recently, and I got my insurance, and I had to fish around because my car was too old, by the way. So we'll talk after. But
we'll sort you out.
But there's it's interesting that you introed with the story that happened to you, because we all have our stories, and you must get some funny stories. Like you must get some interesting stories in the backlog. Like what's going on with people's insurance? What do we need to know?
Oh no, there's way too many stories. For example, it's pretty often that someone, let's talk about home insurance, for example. Someone purposefully damages equipment, and it's so obvious. And I'm trying my best to, like, we want to be as helpful as possible. At the end of the day, your business. If you look at other examples would be.
Sorry, people are purposely damaging, and how do you figure that out?
So in a previous life, right before this one, my job was to investigate large-scale accidents. So I used to, like the address fire, I investigated a part of that. Torch fire twice, a few other buildings. And my job as an investigator was to look into the fine print or the details of what is covered, what's not, and also to tell if a customer is being legitimate or not. There's a whole story about a wedding ring that was actually fraudulent, which is completely not for here, but it is insane the level of depth that people can go into to commit fraud. But putting that aside, insurance horror stories from the other side. Case in point for me, I left my old insurance company that I was with when I made my own, which makes sense because I wanted to, and to do that, I wanted to get a no-claim certificate. Dude, you had to go there, you had to wait in line, print the paper, have the guy stamp it, pay for that. Like it didn't make, nothing made sense there, right? Nothing made sense. All I do now with Hala is, if you want to leave us, good dude, here's your no-claim certificate, have a good time. We're here if you want us. But you know what I'm saying? It has to be as convenient as possible. In fact, one of the earliest features we built was how to cancel a Hala policy. That's how confident in what we have is. And if you want to leave, I'm going to make that an awesome journey for you as well. Goodbye. Right now, try canceling your telephone connection. Dude, it's not going to be...
Even having a conversation with them for help is just a nightmare. So you're doing all of this. Can you give us a little, what's going on in the future?
Here's a little teaser. So right now, we cover home and contents. So I cover anything from a wedding ring to a mobile phone to a bike to a car. But really, the ultimate vision I have is you land in Dubai, you want to go to brunch, someone tells you about the entertainer, right? Or whatever, other things like that. I want it to be the case that when you land here, someone goes like, dude, I don't know what to do to protect my stuff. And they go like, listen, your kid's education, your car, your jewelry, if you have an accident, whatever, all into some kind of Netflix-like package on a monthly basis. That's the future I see for Hala. Lifestyle insurance. And it should be very affordable and it should be very usable and asking as few invasive questions as possible. I don't need to know, well, I might need to know how old you are, but beyond that, I need to be very careful with the questions I ask. Because the future is if you look at millennials and Gen Z people and whatever the next generation is called, privacy is so important. And surely there's a way to achieve insuring people without knowing what you had for breakfast yesterday.
And why is nationality relevant to my driving skills? You know what I mean?
Why? I don't know.
Well, no, because if they ask, these specific questions, you can ask, why are these relevant?
Yeah, so there is an assumption, unfortunately, that in the insurance ecosystem or with some insurers that nationality deserves loading in prices because certain nationalities are worse drivers. Now, I think the logic here is to get a license in some countries is easier than to get a license in other countries. Where, here, if you're English, you can just immediately convert your license. Whereas if you're from Jordan, you have to do the test and all of these things. But I'm saying, dude, if I did the test, I'm good to go. If I pass my test, khalas, we should be at the same level. So we want to have that kind of equality going on.
That should be there,
That should be the default, right? It's 2022.
Exactly, yeah.
I think you guys are shocked. Dude, what?
Yeah, it should go without saying. So it's surprising that that's even a thing with some insurance companies, basing off nationalities and genders, messed up. But I want to ask, how has selling an insurance changed in the last couple of years? Because before it was call people up, really sell the insurance. Are you, interested and get hung up on. So now, how do you see it changing?
Yeah, and look, even in this interview, I'm trying my best not to come off as a door-to-door insurance salesman, right? When, hey, home insurance covers all these things. But the reality is that with COVID and with digitization in general, self-service is becoming a thing. It's still not there 100%. With Hala, we're seeing when we look at the funnel of people going through, I love watching how people click through the product. But today, I think we're still halfway through to people being fully digitally native. Even if you were born in the UAE and you're Gen Z and you're fully digital, today you might know a guy whose uncle's father's friend sells you a policy and that's how you get it. We're still shifting to that place where you might trust insurance enough to buy it online without having questions. Case in point, a lot of the things I'm still seeing is even if someone files a claim, they have an accident, they file it online, the system is perfect, they still call. Hey, did you guys get it?
Yeah.
I think people have been in so many abusive, toxic relationships, and now they're do I still trust you guys?
Yeah,
so there's a trust building element, which if you looked at the ad with the alien, all these things, the one guy is super freaked out and the other guy is calm, and I really wonder where the alien went. But yeah, that's how it is with Hala.
That is all we have time for. But what you guys are doing is super cool. We cannot wait to follow the journey. Hala Insurance. Insurance is important and they are making it accessible to everyone. So thank you so much for your time. That was the co-founder and CEO at Hala Insurance, Walid Daniel Dib. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Guys, that is it for us on the Lovin Dubai show. We'll see you tomorrow morning. It's going to be Friday. Yay. Goodbye from me.
Goodbye from me.
Bye-bye.